Good afternoon, everyone. This is JV Jones of DC Nightlife here with Evans Charles of Frontier Development and Hospitality Group. How are you
I'm
today?
doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So, look, DC Nightlife really prides itself in showcasing great businesses in the community, and we thank you for taking time out of your business schedule. I want you to tell everyone a little bit about your story and how you became a hotel owner.
Um, yeah, absolutely. So basically, I did my undergraduate and graduate studies at Temple University, and I studied psychology and education. But then I got inspired by a landlord. So I had a landlord that owned the entire community I was living in, and it inspired me to go out and buy books on how to invest in real estate. So I was 25 years old. I bought a small row home in West Philadelphia with no more than $1,000 out of pocket, and was able to just use credit cards to buy materials, people from the neighborhood to fix it up, and then ending up selling it 6 months later for a pretty significant profit for a 25-year-old. I've never seen a check. It was like a $25,000 check. I've never seen that kind of money at one time. So that was an addictive feeling, obviously. And even though I was going down this route of going into corporate America, I said to myself from day one, I want to be a real estate entrepreneur. So I just continued to just organically grow. I took that entire check and reinvested it into my next deal.
Mm,
And then I just continued reinvesting until I grew the portfolio to what I have it today.
that is wonderful.
hmm
When did you start the Frontier Development Group?
Um, well, technically, I say I started with that one property, but I did not really form this entity until about 6 years ago, until I started getting into the hotel space or so.
Okay.
So we kind of went from Frontier Development and we added the And Hospitality Group to it.
So, a lot of us have dreams and aspirations, and
hmm
owning a hotel is just like, wow, can we do that? What was it that made you decide that you wanted to pursue owning a hotel?
All right, so it's sort of a long story. I'm gonna make it short. So I'm at my barber, and he's telling me about this guy from D.C. that owned the Royal Palm in South Beach, and at that time I used to hang out in Miami. So I'm like, who's from D.C.? Who's an African American guy? Who owns the Royal Palm on South Beach? So I heard about this guy named Don Peebles. So I went out, researched him. I bought his book, and then I realized he was the chairman of this organization called NABHOOD. So there was a conference going on 10 days later from the time I first got exposed to this. So I basically jumped on a plane, registered, went to this event, and the thing that blew me away was when I saw people that looked like me sitting on stage talking about 20, 30, 40 million dollar transactions, and I just was instantly inspired. I just said to myself, you know what? I don't know anything about this space yet, and not saying anything negative towards the folks, but I just say if they can do it, I can do it as well. So
Exactly.
I just basically networked, built my entire team, and I was so hungry and just so and so. I just went to work and just got started and just jumped out there and really learned the business.
That is fantastic.
hmm
So, how does it feel basically being an African American owning a hotel? Because that's just not a lot of us just don't have hotels. So, do you feel like you're in a special place?
yeah, well, I know, that there's just not a lot of people that look like me on the ownership side. Um, I don't necessarily think about it. I mean, I love to encourage more of us because we as consumers, we're big consumers in America.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the hospitality space, out of 40,000 hotels, we own less than 500. So that's a fraction of a percentage of a hotel, I mean, of
Yes.
ownership or so. But for the most part, it's just all about being sharp, being educated, and knowing what I'm talking about. So when people see me, yeah, they may look at me with surprise, but when I open my mouth, you know, they stop thinking about what I look like, and this is business, and let's talk about how we can make some money.
Exactly.
hmm
So we're here at the DoubleTree by Hilton.
hmm
Great hotel.
Thank you. Appreciate
Wonderful.
that.
Give me a little bit of shout out for your place.
No, absolutely. So we purchased this 2 years ago. This was a Radisson hotel. It was a subpar. It was distressed. Just wasn't doing. It was actually losing money. So I
Mm-hmm.
had this vision that we can bring something upscale that you would see at DuPont Circle or downtown DC to Prince George's County, to this particular area, to Largo. So we went out and we tried to raise money, and there were a lot of people that didn't believe in our vision or so. So we got it done. We put about $6.5 million into this. We did it. It was like a 12-month renovation schedule that we did in 6.5 months. So we actually opened in June of last year. The customer mix completely changed to corporate clients, that are on expense accounts that don't mind paying a higher rate or so. A lot of the government officials, a lot of the professionals in the community appreciate what we've done here, and business is going great to the point where we're doubling down and we're building another hotel right next door.
That is great.
Yeah.
When do you expect that to open?
We break ground, let's say March. We may want to skip the winter months, so we'll probably break ground early first quarter of next year, and we're looking to open first quarter of 18.
That is fantastic.
First quarter of 18.
And you said that facility is going to, or that property is going to have a bigger convention type?
Yeah. So this is what we would call a transient hotel or so. And we're building something called an extended stay. So it's going to be like
Okay.
apartments. It's going to have a full kitchen, dishwasher, table setting for 4 suites, 100% all suites, to more so attack a different segmentation of the market or so.
Great.
So we'll have additional meeting space to annex the meeting space that we have here, because we realize there is a demand, and we're the only full service hotel in Largo. So if you want
Great.
meeting space, you have to go to Greenbelt or National Harbor.
Exactly.
And we're the only shop in town. So we're basically just building additional space to annex this hotel to give us that competitive advantage over other hotels in the Largo market.
So in other words, you have whatever it is a person's needs are.
Exactly. We want to accommodate you. If you want to stay here for a longer period of time, short period of time, we want to be able to accommodate you.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So you have endowed a scholarship for students from Temple University,
Yes.
Fox's School in Business.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Sure. Well, I come from humble beginnings. My mom was 19 years old when she had me. She just came to this country, barely spoke English or so. There was, I don't know how many of us lived in a 2-bedroom apartment when I first got to this country. When they first got here, and I was born here in D.C. So, my only way out was through education, but I wasn't fortunate to get an academic scholarship. So basically, I went to Temple, and my mom saved all of the money that she had, raising me as a single mom, and we probably got through 2 years of college, and I had to walk onto the football team. I didn't get recruited out of high school. I had to beat out the guy who was the starter, and then I forced them to give me a scholarship because I became the starter. So they gave me that scholarship that paid for my junior, senior year, and then I went to grad school, and they paid for that too, and that was my way out, because if I didn't have that scholarship, I would have come back to D.C., and at the time, D.C. was it was in the early 90s. It was once deemed murder capital, crack epidemic. It was just, I have a lot of friends that did not make it out of the community that I grew up in, and I was just going to be subjected to come back to that environment, and I was just determined not to come back. So I say all that to say that I realized that how important me getting that scholarship was to my success today. And, and I know it's not all about me and how I could benefit from my business. I also think about how can I help other folks. So I think by endowing this scholarship, and I made it strategically for, underserved students who come from similar backgrounds that I come from. And I was very specific when I described and provided the outline for the type of student that would get the scholarship. And hopefully I can make a difference to others, because I've been a bit blessed. I'm a spiritual guy, I believe in God, and I've been, God has blessed me, and hopefully, I can take some of his gifts and bless others.
That is wonderful. So where do you see Evans Charles and the Frontier Development Hospitality Group in 10 years?
10 years, wow.
I started to say 5, but I think I want to know about 10.
Okay. Yeah, typically I look out 5 years or so. We always I like to challenge myself. I like to grow, whatever that next level is. But right now, we're just, we like to be, to have a conglomerate, a major portfolio of hotels. So let's just say in 20 years, we own over $1 billion worth of assets or so all across the country. And now we're starting to think of venturing off into different asset classes. We've been focused on hotel. I come from residential. but hey, you know, there's office, there's retail. So we love real estate. We know real estate, and we're just going to continue to grow and scale.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Well, again, I thank you so much for taking time.
Okay. Thank you for having
you
me.
are such a great success story.
Appreciate that.
And I think the part that really I love the most is the humbleness.
Thank you.
You know, and I know whenever we give back,
Hmm.
we're going to always be successful.
Right. Right. You get it back two,
You
threefold.
get it back twofold.
That's right.
Don't even worry about it.
That's right. That's right.
You're going to be taken care of.
That's right.
Well, thank you again.
No, my pleasure.
And this is Evans Charles of the Frontier Development and Hospitality Group. Look for him. Up and coming hotel coming, new hotel in the Largo area, and going to be, I know we're going to come and check it out. DC Nightlife will be there. This is JV Jones signing off.
So, DoubleTree Hotel by Hilton, right here in Largo, Maryland. We are the only full-service hotel in the Largo market. Come experience this upscale 4+ star ambiance that we've created here. Wonderful restaurant, the XC Bar, Lounge, and Grill. We have wonderful rooms from, you know, traditional kings to suites, and we're here to service you. So please come and check us out. 9100 Basil Court, right here in the right off of McCormick Drive and off 202 in Largo, Maryland. Thank you so much.